Martine. I'm a registered dietitian with the Center for Creative Leadership, and today I want to show you how to make a healthy, delicious chocolate peanut butter ice cream. This recipe is dairy-free, and it's something that's a great replacement for ice cream in the evenings when you're relaxing, and kids love it as well. The other great thing about it, it's an easy way to get an additional serving of fruit in your diet because the base of this ice cream is made out of bananas, specifically frozen bananas. So the first step in making this recipe is to take a banana, you wait till they get a little bit ripe, and then you would go ahead, peel it, cut it into thirds or fourths, put it in a little Ziploc baggie, and put it into the freezer. Keep it in the freezer for about 24 hours, and then your bananas will be perfectly ready for this recipe. So here I've got 4 frozen bananas that I'm going to go ahead and put into the Vitamix. So you want to use a high-powered blender for this, and I find the Vitamix works really well because it blends everything up perfectly to the consistency of ice cream. So here we go. I'm going to add 4 bananas to this. The next thing I'm going to add is some natural peanut butter. So when you're at the store and you're grocery shopping for peanut butter, you want to look at the ingredients label because the only thing that should be in your peanut butter is peanuts and maybe a little bit of salt. You really want to avoid anything that contains additional hydrogenated oils or added sugar. So for this recipe, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now, sometimes people don't want to eat nuts because they're worried that it will lead to weight gain. However, research shows the opposite of that, actually. Nuts are good for weight loss. They do not lead to weight gain. And peanuts themselves are actually anti-inflammatory, so it's a really healthy thing to add to your diet. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and add is some unsweetened cocoa powder. This is pretty much the healthiest way to get your chocolate fix. Now, we've all heard of the benefits of chocolate in the prevention of heart disease, and this is hands down the best way to do it. You've got all the antioxidants and the flavonoids here in this cocoa powder, minus the added sugar or added fat. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder to the blender. All right. Next up, I've got some cinnamon. So cinnamon and all spices in general are good for adding to your recipes whenever you can because they're often anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, and they make things taste really good too. So this is about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon that I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle into here. Okay. The next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of vanilla extract. This just gives it a little bit of a flavor boost, and sometimes I'll add just a dash of that. All right, and the last ingredient is soy milk. So I'm adding soy milk, but if you wanted to, you could use any non-dairy milk. So if you wanted to use rice milk, hemp milk, quinoa milk, almond milk, any of those would be perfectly okay to use in this recipe. All right, so that was 1 cup of soy milk. All right, the next step is to add a little bit of ice. So this just gives it a little bit of that ice creamy cold texture. You could easily make it without it, but it tastes good. Okay. All right, the next step is to blend everything together. So when you're working with these blenders, you want to make sure the lid is attached really tightly because if you don't, you'll have a smoothie on your ceiling. That's happened to me many times before. So the first step, make sure the lid is attached really well. And when you start this up, you want to start it on the lowest setting possible. You definitely don't want to go straight to high power. So you're going to start it on low, get it going a little bit, gradually increase the speed till you get to high power, and at the same time you're going to be pressing down on this tamper to push the ingredients into the blades, which are going to mix everything up. And you know it's going to be done when it's the consistency of like a frozen yogurt. All right. Out into the bowls. So this makes about 2 servings. Just go ahead and spin it into these bowls. Alright, and the last thing that you can do if you want to make these look really pretty is just add a little bit of shredded coconut to the top or a little bit of slivered almonds. So